with respect to India in the RALP. Apart from capability development, the other focus is on infrastructure development in forward areas for connectivity from the major roads to the forward posts. The Army's engineering task forces are being employed. Meanwhile, with significant enhancement and also induction of technology, the communication network is in the process of being upgraded as part of an overall project being taken up across the country. And this is absolutely and astutely very, very important for a country which has enemies on both the sides. On one hand, an enemy which believes in infiltration and proxy wars, and on the other hand, an enemy that believes in salami slicing. We'll talk about this with some of the people who understand this particular ecosystem and more. Major General Shashi Asthana, former Additional DG, Infantry Global Strategic and Defence Expert, joins us on the program. Group Captain UK Devnath, former Indian Air Force and Defence Expert, also with us. Major Mohammed Ali Shah, Defence Expert, joins us on the program as well. And last but by no means the least, Sumit Peer, political commentator, joins us on the show as well. Mohammed Ali Shah, in your opinion, you've been a part of the army, you have fought against the enemy. And oftentimes we have discussed, we have, basically argued over the kind of infrastructure that has been a requirement for decades now. And China has taken advantage of this absence or this lacuna in the past as well. But no longer can that excuse allow China to step into our territory. No longer can China crop up and, do the salami slicing as long as we are on guard. And that's exactly what this development, denotes.
Absolutely, Vineet, you are bang on there, 100% right. China's strategy of salami slicing is actually almost incorrigible, and it was very surprising for me that despite 16 levels of co-commander talks, they were, which were marathon talks, mind you. They went on for over 10, 12, 14 hours, and which all resulted in stalemate. And now China has agreed to step back slightly. China has never agreed or never honored any of the pacts that we have signed China with. Be it the Panchsheel Pact, I can give you a number of them. But now, today when our Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, goes to Ladakh, it speaks great volume. It conveys a message not just to our Indian Army, to our country, to China, and to the entire international community. That we have managed, at least for. I hope it's not time being. I hope China does not come back to square one again. But so far so good. I would say this itself is an achievement in a way, that getting the Chinese to push behind. Only time that happened was with Vietnam. When Vietnam gave them a sound thrashing, and that is the only time they not dared to mess with Vietnam. They have dared to mess with Japan when they keep renaming the Senkaku Islands and other islands of Japan. They've dared to mess with Sri Lanka. You see what happened to Sri Lanka. They've dared to bully. In fact, Pakistan themselves are submissive towards them. Pakistan, so there's such a different case. So now, when India stands tall in the international community, India comes and gives a message. India tells China that, listen, you have to step back, you have no other choice. I think it's a very, very good move. But no, Chinese strategy is Sun Tzu, the Chinese author, very famous author. He wrote The Art of War. Like the way we have Chanakya Riti, we have Kautilya wrote that. Similarly, Sun Tzu, which means they want to win wars without fighting a single bullet, without any bloodshed. They want to win wars. Now, how do they do that? Through information warfare, cyber warfare, psychological warfare. They will come and do Islamic slicing directly. They will not fight at the border. They will directly, for example, like last time, even Sumit was there, we were on this panel where they had entered into Hamla district, and which was 70 kilometers from Pithoragarh. They constructed pillar number 11 and 12 illegally. And satellite imagery, and KP Sharma Oli, his government denied it initially. They said no Chinese interference, no Chinese came. But when satellite imagery was out, that time it revealed that it was Chinese government, which came, Chinese army, PLA, which came and did Islamic slicing. But now, yes, the time being, I would say time being. I do not trust the Chinese. I do not believe that they would be there forever. I hope it is like that, and I wish, fingers crossed, but for the time being. But we have an advantage. Earlier we took patrol up to finger 8. Thereafter, midway we started patrolling up to finger 4. So now when we regain back our territory, when we like Robert Frost wrote a poem which said, good fences make good neighbors, because the area is demarcated. A simple example for everyone to understand is, like in a houses, in a colony, in a neighborhood, we have a demarcated territory for all of us. Our land, our fencing, our walls, our doors. That is the reason we are able to rest, relax in peace. But when there is no demarcated territory, when it's open, similarly, that is how it is line of actual control. It is not a clear-cut border like the line of control like Pakistan, where there is a fence. Here, it is actually close to impossible to get that area fence reached because the area is so difficult. And even if we get it fenced, it's very important to get it manned. And if we get fence and no manning, it doesn't make sense. It's like you get a security picket done, but there is no one to guard that security picket. So yes, let's hope China behaves itself, and whatever has happened now, they've stepped back and there's no shame. They should feel that there's no shame in that. It's been a diplomatic move, a positive move, and a military move, and I hope they stick to that. And yeah, so let's hope for the best. Let's hope that China does not try those stunts again, getting back to that land again in future.
All right. Well, Sumit, great points made there by Mohommed Ali Shah.